Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cutting straight to the chase and tackling a massive issue that is quietly affecting millions of us. We are decoding a condition that goes way, way beyond just needing a good night's sleep. We're talking all about burnout syndrome. So I want you to ask yourself, honestly, are you just tired, or is there something more going on? Figuring out the difference between normal, everyday fatigue and something much deeper is literally your very first step toward getting your life back. We live in a culture that kind of glorifies the hustle, right? Where running on fumes is practically treated like a badge of honor. But there's a hard line where exhaustion stops being a temporary thing and turns into a chronic condition. If you felt like you're running on empty for months, even after you rest, you might not just be tired. You might be dealing with something entirely systemic. And honestly, the data backs this up in a mind-blowing way. We recently looked at a massive global health index that tracks the top 100 wellness keywords dominating conversations worldwide right now. Get this, out of 100 critical trends, burnout comes in at number 4 globally. Number 4. Think about that for a second. It's the fourth most prevalent focus in global wellness today, which completely validates it as one of the defining health phenomena of our generation. It's really not just in your head, it is right there in the global data. Let's dive into Section 1, the global wellness phenomenon. Just to give you a quick sense of the scale we're dealing with, our source material categorized exactly 100 top health and wellness trends globally. And this list is huge. It covers everything from physical fitness and nutrition to digital health tech and preventative medicine. So to rank in the top 5 on a list this massive, it means the issue is absolutely pervasive. People everywhere are desperately searching for answers. What's really fascinating here is exactly who burnout is hanging out with on this list. Look at its neighbors in the psychological data. It's right near the top, nestled under mental health and completely surrounded by interventions like mindfulness, stress management, and digital detox. So the data is basically handing us a massive clue. Burnout is directly tied to our screen time, our mental well-being, and our struggle to manage overwhelming modern stress. Moving right along to Section 2, Defining Burnout Syndrome. Okay, so what actually is it? I love this definition because it is so empowering. Burnout syndrome is officially defined as a globally recognized occupational phenomenon resulting from chronic, unmanaged workplace stress. Why is that specific phrasing a game changer? Because it frames burnout as a verified, systemic occupational issue, not a personal failing. It completely removes the guilt. If you're burned out, it doesn't mean you're weak. It's simply a biological and psychological response to a mismanaged chronic environment. Once we actually accept that, we can finally start healing. Which brings us to Section 3, Spotting the warning signs. Run through a quick mental checklist with me and see if any of these hit home. First up, constant, unrelenting exhaustion. We're talking about the kind of tired that a weekend of sleeping in just doesn't fix. You wake up exhausted. Second, increased cynicism or mental distance from your job. You just stop caring. Third is reduced professional efficacy, meaning you're working super hard but somehow getting way less done. And finally, pay close attention to this one, disrupted sleep. Sleep hygiene actually ranks 12th on our global index. And when your sleep takes a hit, it creates a brutal cycle that completely locks burnout in place. Let's pivot to Section 4, Stress versus Burnout. Now, this is where it gets super interesting. Stress and burnout, they are night and day. Stress is all about overengagement. You care almost too much. Your emotions are hyperactive and you physically feel it, like your heart racing. It's exactly like revving a car engine way too hard. Burnout, though, is the total opposite. It's defined by complete disengagement and completely blunted emotions. You literally don't have the energy to care anymore, taking a massive emotional toll. Going back to that car metaphor, burnout isn't revving the engine too hard, it's realizing the gas tank is completely empty and the battery is totally dead. And because these two conditions are so wildly different, treating them the same way is a recipe for a disaster. This creates a massive treatment gap. If you're stressed, you can look to keyword number 3, stress management. You take a breath, maybe take a long weekend. But if your battery is completely dead from burnout, basic management just isn't going to cut it. Burnout demands a much deeper, multifaceted approach, like keyword number 81, holistic health recovery, to rebuild your energy from the ground up. Let's get into the solutions with Section 5, strategies for effective recovery. So, how do we actually bounce back? We've pulled a highly effective 4-step holistic recovery roadmap straight from the global data. Step 1, digital detox, which is trend number 5. You literally cannot recover if your brain is constantly buzzing with notifications. Step 2, mindfulness, trend number 2, which helps you reconnect with those blunted emotions without judgment. Step 3 is prioritizing sleep hygiene, trend 12, to physically repair your brain. And finally, step 4, trend number 11, work-life balance. You absolutely have to set hard boundaries, or else the burnout will just come right back the second you feel a bit better. The key here is that overcoming this requires equal, balanced attention across the board. You can't just fix your sleep habits but ignore your crazy screen time, right? And you can't meditate for 10 minutes but still work 80-hour weeks. Real recovery means unplugging, staying present, resting, and setting strict boundaries, all in equal measure. But to make sure these major lifestyle changes don't just vanish after a week, you need maintenance. You solidify your recovery by baking daily self-care, trend number 6, and active recovery, trend 18, into your routine. Active recovery is all about resting with intention. So taking a light, tech-free walk in nature instead of just collapsing on the sofa and doom scrolling. It's these daily habits that ensure your holistic recovery actually sticks for the long haul. If you take away just one thing from us today, please let it be this. Burnout is not a personal failure. It is a systemic challenge that requires structured, holistic boundaries. By understanding this global data, you're validating a very real, incredibly common phenomenon. And the best part? You now know exactly what tools you need to fight back and reclaim your energy. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a challenge, because information is really only useful if it sparks action. What is one boundary you are going to set today to protect your well-being? Are you going to start a digital detox at 8 p.m.? Are you going to put a hard stop on your work hours? Pick just one thing, try it out today, and take that first crucial step back toward yourself. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll catch you next time.